Hello everyone, my name is Seth Myers and I'm so happy to be back with you in Sanctuary for Families to host this benefit for an incredible organization. When I've hosted this event in the past, we've all been together in the same room. This year, for obvious reasons, we're holding our event virtually, but I want to assure you that out of respect for the organization, I am wearing pants. They're not my nicest pants, but I do have some on. And while I'll never know one way or the other how any of you are dressed, I would like, at the minimum, sweatpants. So if you're not wearing any, why don't you just pause the video and go rectify that situation? We'll wait. God, I'm so sorry about this. Everyone else who wore pants to a gala. Okay, great. And while we can't all be at Chelsea Piers tonight, I will do my best to replicate the experience by making dinner that is a chicken that is fine. Maybe a little on the dry side, but overall fine. You're certainly better than no chicken. It's sad now that we can't be with the people we love. It's sad we can't be with the people we're indifferent about. I'd give anything right now to see the guy in my office who reheats salmon in the microwave. I hate that guy, but I miss him like crazy. But if this time alone has any value, let it be to remind us the value of empathy. People say the pandemic affects everyone and we're all in this together, but despite the humanity in that sentiment, there's a harder truth underneath. Living through this is not the same for everyone. As you will hear in more detail during our program, victims of gender-based violence are at greater risk right now than they ever have been before. And that means Sanctuary for Families services are more urgently needed than at any time since its founding 35 years ago. Since my wife Alexi joined the Sanctuary team, I've seen firsthand the amazing work that Sanctuary does every day. Shelters, counseling, economic empowerment, training, and legal services. Each program is staffed by passionate and dedicated individuals who have more than risen to the occasion during this crisis. Sanctuary creates new solutions that help our city's poorest families on their journeys from crisis to safety, stability, and self-sufficiency. Its long-term vision is to create a world in which freedom from domestic violence is a basic human right. By being with us today, you are joining a community of people who are committed to making a difference and to the safety of survivors of gender violence. I hope you will join Alexi and me in supporting this amazing organization. Thank you.
When New York's lockdown began, we knew it was going to be bad.
Around the world, countries that had faced the coronavirus had seen rates of gender violence increase.
Here in New York City, we learned early on that this would be unlike any other challenge we faced in our 35 years of service.
At Sanctuary for Families, we provide shelter, legal representation, clinical counseling, and career readiness training
to thousands of survivors of domestic abuse, trafficking, and related forms of gender violence every year.
Our offices and shelters have always been safe spaces where survivors can heal from their trauma and rebuild.
The courts have been avenues for justice.
But when COVID-19 hit our city, everything became inaccessible.
The courts closed.
New York became a ghost town.
But Sanctuary moved quickly.
We organized.
We adapted.
And we're still here.
We're still here, providing safe shelter to around 200 adults and children every night.
Stockpiling food and cleaning essentials for our residents.
Delivering laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots to our economic empowerment program participants.
Training survivors for an increasingly competitive job market.
We are still here, representing survivors seeking orders of protection in virtual court.
Supporting immigrants and undocumented survivors.
Counseling survivors to cope with the trauma of their abuse and the stress of the lockdown.
We are still here, helping our clients access to public benefits.
Tutoring children over Zoom.
Raising awareness about available resources.
We're still here, but we need you.
Domestic violence victims need you.
Trafficking victims need you.
Gender violence victim needs you.
As the lockdown lifts, we expect to see a wave of people who've been quarantined with abusive or exploitive partners reaching out.
Our services are essential, but the economic downturn has put our program at risk.
Donate to Sanctuary to ensure survivors of gender violence have access to the life-saving services they need to rebuild safe and healthy lives free from violence.
Donate to make sure we're still here when survivors need us most.
Hello, I'm Judy Harris-Kluger, Executive Director of Sanctuary for Families. I am speaking to you from my home, most likely reaching you and yours. I hope you are safe and well. Sanctuary's clients, all survivors of gender violence, face immense challenges, even in the best of times. These challenges have been intensified during this unprecedented crisis. Imagine living in fear of the virus in addition to fearing abuse from your partner. Like all of us, they are sheltering in their homes. But for many, home is the most dangerous place to be. Because of COVID-19, many have lost their jobs and need money for rent, food, and medicine. I was a judge for 25 years, and it shocks me to see that the courts are almost completely shut down, which means less access to justice and safety for our clients. Most of you have probably seen reports about the spike in domestic violence during the lockdown. Sanctuary has responded swiftly on every possible front. In a matter of days, we found ways to be there for our clients as a mostly virtual organization. Our shelters have remained open the entire time. Our heroic staff continue to show up for work every day. Our residents and their children remain safe and supported. Our legal center has expanded our hotline hours, and our lawyers are providing a full range of legal services remotely, including making virtual court appearances in family court. Our clinical staff quickly transitioned to a remote counseling platform and provide therapy to our clients and their children using Zoom and telehealth. We also continue to focus on our clients' long-term economic stability. The pandemic has highlighted the deep inequalities in our society. We cannot afford to let our clients slip even further behind. The generosity of a longtime Sanctuary supporter let us purchase laptops and internet access to get everyone online. I recently Zoomed in for a visit to the remote training classroom and was so inspired by the dozens of women, many in shelter, working diligently on their laptops. The chance for a safe, secure, and independent future for themselves and their children is now within their reach. In a crisis, we tend to see the best and the worst in people. At Sanctuary, we have only seen the best, from the bravery and tenacity of our clients to the extraordinary dedication of our staff, the commitment of our board, and the support and generosity of each of you. I hope this time next year I can thank you in person. Until then, stay safe and healthy and know that your support is making a profound difference. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Alida Chikamo and I'm a survivor leader with Sanctuary for Families. Thank you for this opportunity to be speaking about this 2020 benefit. I came to Sanctuary for Families in April 2016, and the first service that I received from Sanctuary for Families was a shelter. At that time, just having a place, a roof under my head was the best thing that could have happened to me. But that wasn't it. Sanctuary went above because Sanctuary anticipated of my needs. I always say I'm a two-time survivor. That means that was not the first time that I've been in an abusive relationship. But this time things were different because this time I received healing. I was turned to see me as a person. Think about me. And one thing that really stayed in me was self-care. For the first time, I was introduced to that notion. I've been in a different state before. I received services, but at Sanctuary, it was different because Sanctuary cared about my children's well-being through the services that they received. They created such a family environment and atmosphere that my children were able to connect with other children. This is something that I will always remember. And when it came to me, through different therapies that I had, group therapy, individual therapy, The way they talk to me, the way they listen to me, the way they pay attention to me, show me that I matter. And that was the beginning of my healing process. When you are a victim, you are kind of dead in a way. And being able just to think about the bright future, this is a rebirth. And that's what I was able to experience when I came to Sanctuary. I received the care and the attention of a team. I felt so important just to have so many people around me, helping me, pushing me, working with me, just for me. A leader, you are going to make it. A leader, you're a great person. A leader, you are a survivor. And that's when even the term survivor starting to make sense to me. My experience with Sanctuary was not only as a client. I had the opportunity to be involved in a program that's called Survivor Leader. I graduated actually from that program last year. A survivor leader is someone who's been through domestic violence abuse, sex trafficking, labor trafficking, but was turning the circumstances around to help other victims. We work with council members, we work in the city, we do trainings, we go in community, and then we organize events just to bring awareness about domestic violence and the possibility to get healing, to get help, talk about the resources that are available to victims. And as we talk about our life, we do impact others. For those like me who have had the grace to be able to overcome the challenges, we want to reach our hands to other victims and tell them, hey, you are not alone. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You have victory, and you can change your life around. I walked into Sanctuary's door as a victim, and then here I am still. I'm not walking out because I'm not going anywhere, but I'm here but standing in a different position. So my head is up, I'm straight. I received the services that I needed to work on my person and become the person that I am today.
I now have the pleasure of introducing our first honoree, Michelle Penzer, a partner at the law firm of Lathan & Watkins, and a true and fierce advocate for women and girls. A mother of two, Michelle is the managing partner of Latham's New York office and the first woman to serve in that role. She is also the youngest attorney and first woman to be on the executive committee. So pretty impressive. Michelle is a role model and mentor to other women attorneys at Latham and helped to found Women Enriching Business, a firm-wide initiative to help women develop networks and business development skills. Michelle is also a champion of Latham's pro bono work with Sanctuary, which is how Michelle first became involved with Sanctuary's work. Latham has partnered with Sanctuary for over 20 years. Latham attorneys donated over 7,200 hours of pro bono legal work last year alone, with a focus and expertise on complex immigration-related cases and research projects. Latham was also one of the founding firms of Sanctuary's Incarcerated Gender Violence Survivors Initiative, an extraordinary network of attorneys advocating on behalf of imprisoned survivors of gender violence. Michelle has supported all of these initiatives and more. She's a passionate and ardent advocate for the rights of gender violence survivors. Michelle joined Sanctuary's advocacy committee because she personally wanted to make a difference and even traveled to Albany last year to participate in a day-long effort to garner support for anti-trafficking legislation. I understand she will be joining Sanctuary's board in June, taking her leadership to yet another level. Michelle has a deep understanding of the challenges faced by Sanctuary's clients, a vulnerable population facing even more hurdles as our community struggles with COVID-19. As Michelle says, it's all about changing people's lives, and Sanctuary does that every single day. Please join me in thanking Michelle for her support and passion for Sanctuary's work. Michelle, it is my honor to present you with the Sanctuary for Families 2020 Law Firm Leadership Award.
Thank you for joining us remotely from your homes to help celebrate the amazing work being done by an amazing organization. I'm honored to accept this year's Law Firm Leadership Award and to represent the hundreds of lawyers at my own firm, Latham & Watkins, and the many other law firms who dedicate countless hours every year to representing Sanctuary clients on a pro bono basis. My introduction to Sanctuary came more than 15 years ago through the pro bono work done by my firm, representing immigrant women seeking lawful permanent residence under the Violence Against Women Act. Women who not only were being abused, but who lived in fear of being deported, in fear of being separated from their children. Women who had no understanding of their rights or the legal system. Since then, I've had the privilege of assisting many women and their families in their efforts to separate from their abusers and to work with Sanctuary's in-house attorneys who are truly leaders in their field. I also serve on Sanctuary's Advocacy Committee, where Sanctuary advocates at the legislative level for victims of gender-based violence and sex trafficking. Among many other things, Sanctuary has played a critical role in the passage of laws relating to cybersexual assault and is fighting to extend rape shield laws to sexual assault victims who themselves are victims of sex trafficking. Just last year, Sanctuary helped achieve passage of the Domestic Violence Survivors Justice Act, which provides for reduced or alternative sentencing for survivors of domestic violence who act to protect themselves. Many of the legal reforms Sanctuary advocates are things that most of us rarely give a second thought to, but changes to laws as mundane sounding as loitering statutes can have a profound impact on the lives of so many Sanctuary clients. Today, when hundreds of millions of people have been urged to shelter in place, the need for Sanctuary services has never been greater. For most of us, home is a safe place. But for Sanctuary's clients, home is the most dangerous place they can be. With widespread financial hardship and other stress that have come from this pandemic, victims of domestic violence are in great danger. They need Sanctuary's help in courtrooms and in Albany more than ever. Many of us feel pretty powerless during this lockdown as we see the truly awful things happening around us. But even from home, there are many ways we can make a difference. Reach out to your elected representatives to advocate for the issues you care about most. If you're a lawyer, do as much pro bono work as you can. And above all, please continue to support Sanctuary in its efforts to help the incredibly vulnerable populations that it so ably serves. I'd like to close by thanking my family for supporting me every day and making it possible for me to spend time not only on my day job, but on the work that I've been honored to do for Sanctuary. And I'd like to thank Sanctuary for Families, not only for this award, but for giving me the opportunity to play a small role in its efforts to combat gender-based violence and sex trafficking. Finally, thank you for joining us and for supporting Sanctuary's work.
Hi, I'm Alia Karmali Sahai, and I'm a proud member of the Board of Directors of Sanctuary for Families. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm just popping by to remind you of two very important things. First and foremost, every dollar you donate tonight will go to benefit survivors of gender violence. So whether you're looking to donate $250 for Metro cards and groceries or $15,000 for trauma-informed counseling, we are so grateful for every dollar. Thank you so much, and we cannot do this work without you. So please donate tonight at sanctuaryforfamilies.org/donate to make that donation. Second, and very exciting as well, are our auction items. You can see these amazing items at sanctuaryforfamilies.org/auction, or you can text the word sanctuary to 243-725. Again, that's 243-725. Some of the great items include a private Zoom party with Seth Meyers for 8 people, tea for 4 with Diane von Furstenberg, or a virtual meet and greet and chat with Camila Cabello. And there are so many more. You do not want to miss them. Thank you all so much for being here. Happy bidding, and enjoy the rest of the program. Good night.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Ferdman, and I'm a former board president of Sanctuary for Families. 25 years ago, I created a fundraising committee made up of young professionals and set out to build what became our Zero Tolerance benefit. One of the first calls I made was to Lauren Starr, tonight's honoree. Lauren hadn't heard of Sanctuary, but its mission resonated with her, and she agreed immediately. She reached out to her vast network of friends, and they all showed up for her. That was the first time Lauren said yes to Sanctuary. She has said yes countless times over the next 2 decades. Lauren, could you photograph our Abley reception? Yes. Lauren, would you please join our family council? Yes. Lauren, would you adopt a family for the holidays, for Mother's Day, in honor of your daughter's birthday? Yes, yes, yes. For those of you who don't know Lauren, let me paint a picture. Lauren is a creative, brilliant, and incredibly loyal friend to Sanctuary and to many others. A celebrated professional photographer, she captured dozens of events for us pro bono, becoming Sanctuary's unofficial chronicler of our history. In fact, I have a vivid memory of Lauren taking pictures for us when she was 9 months pregnant. She has participated in just about every benefit we've ever hosted. And for Lauren, it's never been enough to offer her own time and resources. Over the years, she has enlisted the support of her parents and step-parents, brother and sister-in-law, all of whom readily agreed to serve as co-chairs for tonight's benefit. She has also established for her daughters, Sydney and Olivia, the role that sharing plays in being part of a larger community. Sanctuary has been the recipient of their clothing, books, and birthday presents. Sanctuary has also benefited from their care and attention at our Thanksgiving client party and on their trips to our office and shelter. Lauren's commitment is exactly the kind that often goes under the radar. She says yes with such ease and never looks for recognition. So when I asked her to be tonight's honoree, I worried that I'd receive my first no. Standing in the spotlight is not part of who Lauren is. But I should have anticipated her response. Will it help Sanctuary? Then yes. It is such a privilege to present Lauren Starr with Sanctuary's 2020 Zero Tolerance Award.
Thank you, Sanctuary for Families. I am truly humbled by this honor. Thank you for tuning in and supporting this vital organization during this surreal time. Countless people and businesses are suffering, fueling a horrific rise in domestic violence. Sanctuary is needed and needs us now more than ever. As a photographer, I was fortunate to be able to not only witness but document the world of Sanctuary, shooting events, award ceremonies, benefits, and especially portraits of their many clients. Despite their harrowing journeys, these strong survivors wore bright smiles of relief and gratitude. The more I learned about Sanctuary, the more I wanted to give back. As a native New Yorker, I had always seen the faces of the homeless in our city. Little did I know that so many women and children who have homes are unsafe inside them. When I retired as a photographer and became a mother of 2 daughters, I joined Sanctuary's Family Council. I wanted to continue my personal effort and get my children involved early on. Few lessons are more impactful than gratitude and helping those less fortunate. Whether it was donating their books and clothes to shelters, picking out toys for families at holidays, or helping out with meals at Thanksgiving, my kids, like me, caught the Sanctuary bug. And their infectious enthusiasm in turn has spread to many of their friends. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for my family who taught me everything about gratitude and giving back. They've always supported me in everything I've done. Both my parents taught me the importance of passion, dedication, and tireless work. I am so grateful they, along with my step-parents and siblings, agreed to be co-chairs of this very important event. And finally, thank you to my husband, Chris, who as a physician has been quite busy lately, and my children, Sydney and Olivia, for their unwavering love and support, and for patience in allowing me time to focus on this critical work. And most of all, thank you for your dedication, commitment, and generosity. Sanctuary is defined as a place of refuge and safety. You are likely watching this from your own private sanctuary, your safe haven, with family and loved ones. But tragically, for many New Yorkers, home is where true horrors reside. I can think of no more important time to support Sanctuary for Families. We must ensure that we can all have access to resources needed to be free from violence and safe and secure in our own homes. Thank you all so much.
Hello, I'm Dennis McInerney, and I'm privileged to be president of Sanctuary's board. I first joined the board in 2005 because I had come to learn from my work at Davis Polk and attending events like the annual benefit about the vital, life-changing impact Sanctuary has on people like Alita and their children. And I thought, what a gift to be able to join in that effort to try to make such a profound difference in people's lives. And Alita, I know I speak on behalf of everyone who's listening in saying how grateful we are to you for sharing your personal story of confronting the challenges you faced with such character and courage. The UN Secretary General has recently spoken about the horrifying global surge in domestic violence following the onset of the pandemic. That surge has been vividly illustrated by the number of visitors to Sanctuary's website, which nearly tripled in April from what it was in February. This is obviously only underscoring the importance of Sanctuary's mission. But as difficult as this crisis is, particularly for victims of domestic violence, it's been incredibly inspiring to see how everyone affiliated with Sanctuary has responded. From the frontline heroes in our shelters, to the rest of our staff who've adapted to our new remote world with amazing speed, creativity, and compassion, to Judy Kluger, whose invaluable leadership has been spectacular, to our board, which has stepped up in so many ways to help guide and support the agency in this difficult time, to our clients and their children, who have shown in countless ways such remarkable resilience and fortitude in tackling whatever is thrown their way. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Judy, the board, and everyone on the staff for their exceptional professionalism and commitment to Sanctuary's mission. And I want to thank the thousands of survivors and their children who are Sanctuary's clients for inspiring us all with their incredible strength and determination. Although I'd love nothing more than to be with all of you in person, I think we've all seen over the last couple of months that there are other ways to feel connected with each other and with our community. And I'm sure, like many of you, I'm enormously grateful for those opportunities to connect with people, to pitch in as I can to help out, and to thank those who are serving the people in our community who are most in need. As we're now near 7 p.m., when many of us applaud the frontline workers helping to fight the COVID crisis, I'd ask that this evening you include in your thoughts those at Sanctuary who are also on the front lines, helping survivors of gender-based violence to not only survive this tumultuous time, but to thrive as they and their families carry on from here. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Alita for her closing remarks.
What I want to say to our dear donors is that when you are giving, you are helping people like me to change their lives around, to start thinking about the future, to live again. What you are doing is you are contributing to changing people's lives. I came to Sanctuary, the first service that I received was a shelter. At that time, just having a shelter was enough for me. But can you imagine if Sanctuary had just stopped there and didn't anticipate my needs, I would not be where I am today. So keep giving, because Sanctuary is investing in services to help women, for them to be responsible of their own lives, to be responsible of their families. Sanctuary is giving them a chance to live again. This is like a second birth. That's how important your donations are. Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh. walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move.